Welcome back, chess fans. In this video, how to win quickly with one e4. And the secret to that is to create fire on the board. Like in this position, Alireza Firouzja was with white, queen f7, attack the rook on g8, the bishop on e7, the black king is in danger, you give pieces, you don't care, you go for the kill. But how to do that with one e4? Here we go. And the problem with e4, you have a lot of openings to know. So knight f6 is one example, the Alekhine defense. So how you go around that? You start with the normal moves. This is all normal. And now you have a secret weapon, c4, attacking the knight. Bortnyk, a strong GM, does that all the time. So now the game goes on. And here, how to create fire on the board. Well, you have to sack a piece, right? Knight f7, brilliant move. The king takes, c5. Now you attack the knight. So unless your opponent is cheating, it will move that knight. But if you were to look for an engine, the engine recommends g6, giving up the whole piece. You're still better with white, but the game goes on. But here, most players will do what I would do as well, moving the knight. And here, black is simply busted on move 9. You continue with queen h5 check, and that is the secret of sharp chess, double attack, and the golden triangle, right? So now g6, you take, and you have a winning position. All right, king g8, you take, and you have checkmate. All right, so here, the last try for black is to play king e6. That defends the knight. And now, what do you play with white? The brilliant move is g3. And what is the point of that move? Well, you guessed it by now, bishop h3, attacking the king who is poorly placed in the center. And you have won the game in 10 moves. Let's go to a different defense now. And now black try the Caro Kann defense. There's so many traps in this opening. Let's try c4. Game goes on with d5, that's a normal move. And here you develop your pieces with bishop c4. So far so good. And here on move 8, you set up a trap. The trap is queen b3. So now that queen and the bishop are attacking f7, but the queen is also attacking the pawn over here. So what to do? Again, if your opponent has a chess engine or is a super genius, we play long castle. That's very hard to play because white would take, and then black has 94, and the game goes on. But most players looking at that position, we play bishop h5. And now black is busted. Queen b7, attack 2 pieces, 98, check. And to avoid checkmate, black has to take, and you are winning with white. So once again, this is trap number 1, queen b3 against the Caro Kann. But this is not the only way to play for a win against that opening. Let me show 2 different ways as well. So here, knight c3, d5, and Nakamura Naroditsky plays queen f3. Black takes. And here he plays a sneaky move, bishop c4. So now, a normal way to play is knight bd7, bishop b3, the game goes on. But on that, black took on e4, and here you play check first. And only after that, you capture here, and you have a winning position. The game goes on for a few moves, but here black just resigned. So that's one way to do it with knight c3, but another trap I've played is to play knight f3 on move 2. d5, d3, black takes, and here you play the sneaky move, knight g5. Black takes, you take, and here you set up a difficult trap. What would you do with black? Well, you have many different options. But if you play h6, that's definitely wrong because here we have a beautiful checkmate. Let me show the line. Check, 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 and here, checkmate. Alright, this is a beginner thing, right? Playing h6 doesn't make any sense. But what about knight f6? That's a developing move, right? That's also a blunder. Why? Take on f7, black takes, and here, bishop g6, check. After black capturing, you win the whole queen. So now, knight f6, knight take f7, brilliant move. Sometimes black try to play check here. You defend, queen d5, you take the rook, and they're trying to counterattack over here. You do that, bishop h3. So here black is trying to model the matter, but you have a very simple move. Bishop c3, knight d7, knight d2, and you are completely winning. If black were to play long castle, you're gonna bring back the knight, you're up a piece, and here you're defending your rook. So once again, bishop g3, h6 is losing, and knight f6 are losing. So what should black do? Well, 97 is a move, queen c7 is a move, and here black is fine. Even if you take on h7, the position is about equal. So these are my traps against the Caro Kann. And finally, of course, the Sicilian defense is something important to cover. In here, we're gonna follow Hikaru Nakamura recipe. And what does he play? The Grand Prix attack. I already have videos on my channel, but here, the quick intro to that opening. Over here, what is the plan? f5, we're trying to do d3, the queen goes to e1, h4, your bishop here is gonna attack like that. Very simple, black takes, g3, knight e7, queen e1. We're preparing, as I said, queen h4, bishop goes somewhere, the knight attacks, also f7 is a target. So you have such an easy play with white. Here, the best move is not to castle, but to play h6. But black is unaware of the dangers, plays castles anyway. Queen h4, and now the problem starts for black. If you turn on the chess engines like Stockfish 16, it will tell you that the best move is h5. That is because over here, you are threatening very quickly knight g5, stacking over here, and creating a sacrifice on f7 as well. But now h5, you play bishop g5, and now look at this pressure like that. Remember that pawn here is pinned, so you have tremendous pressure. If the game goes like that, you will simply play knight d5, and here you are winning. The best move f6, you take, e5, you truly have fire on the board. All pieces are attacked. Black take one piece, you take another piece, attacking here and there. This is also hanging. Classic fire on the board, winning in 16 move. Now in the game, knight e5 was played. And here you go with bishop g5. Black defense, knight d5, knight c6. And here you have another win. How do you win? Check. And black is busted once again. The threat, queen h6, queen g7, checkmate. So here in 14 moves, black resigns. Let's see now e4, e5. Here we go, e4, e5 is the classic way to defend with black. On my channel, I have a lot of Italian games. The Italian games, they go like that. Bishop c4, and I recommend to play c3, d3. But that's not the only way to play, and here let's follow Bortnyk Jacobson, a young and talented grandmaster. He goes for the Vienna game. Knight f6, the best move for black. f4, d5, once again, this is proven to be the best defense for black. He takes and play queen f3. Now, black takes on c3, and here you have two moves, b take or d takes. In this game, Grandmaster Jacobson takes with the b pawn. The game goes on, and simply white castle. Now, question for you. Should black castle short, or should black castle long? So in the game, black went long castle. What would happen if black chooses the other side? Then you develop your knight on f4, logical, rook a e8, looks logical to me. And here you go for the kill. Queen h5, threatening checkmate on h6. And here after g6, queen h6, knight h5, brilliant move. You are completely winning here because if black takes, checkmate. And if black covers g7, you play knight f6 with a winning position. So here we have a simple recipe to win against short castle. But what happened after long castle, you may ask? Rook b1, trying to set up the attack. f6, black tries to attack as well. Knight f4. So it's very important to note that the knight from e2 always ends up on f4. And here, black needs to be very precise. The best move is probably to move the king away. You take, bishop f5. The queen doesn't have a lot of squares, but queen g8 makes sense. And here is your choice. You can play e6, or you can even take and play bishop f4. You have the bishop pair, the rook here. You have a lot of attacking chances, but the game goes on. In this position, black decided to attack the queen. What did black miss in this position? The answer is e6. Move 13, 1-0, black resign. And the reason black resign is like if you take the queen, I have check, and then I'm gonna capture this bishop and get an extra piece. And if black recapture, now you lose because you have the pin. This is why in this position, king b8 was the only move. But obviously, it's very hard to play when white is already ready to attack with some moves like bishop a6 coming soon. So once again, that was my quick recipe and trap using 9c3, the Vienna game. That's for my roundup today. These are fresh new traps. Let me know in the comments what is your favorite. Are you playing 1e4? Would you like a 1d4 series? What else? Happy to hear from you, and I'll see you in the next one.